27-year-old Delvin Barnes. He's suspected of abducting a woman off the street in Philadelphia. I know you remember this video because it helped catch him. But a month prior to that, investigators say he hit a teen with a shovel. That happened in Virginia. He then shoved her into a trunk. Both of these women survived, but since Barnes' arrest on Wednesday, we have learned so much more about his criminal history. Let's talk about this with criminal profiler Pat Brown. Pat, so glad that you're with us. I just want to get this background in. Barnes apparently served 8 years in prison for a brutal attack back in 2005 on his estranged wife and her family. So when these recent alleged attacks happened, he was under community supervision in Virginia. What does that say to you about the system?
Well, first of all, we don't take rape seriously enough. Once a rapist, always a rapist. And that's what we don't understand. These are psychopaths who will commit the crime again if they have the ability and the opportunity. So we can't just let them out of prison once they've done something like this. They should be in there for life. But we don't do that. We let them out and then we say, okay, we'll keep an eye on them. Really? Yeah, unless you have them locked up, you cannot keep an eye on somebody 24/7. And if you did, you might be watching them for a year, and they'd be really boring because they'll just, go to the video store and come home, and go to work and come home, and you're not gonna see anything until one day they decide to do it. And so you can't supervise them 24 hours a day outside of prison. They're going to eventually attack at some point in time, and we can't let them out there.
Yeah, Pat. Based on what we know, do you believe that these two most recent abductions? Do you believe that he intended to kill them?
Oh, absolutely. This guy is a serial killer. Now, we don't know if he's done anything else, if he's killed any women up until that, the point of these two women being abducted. We don't know that yet because we don't have the information. I'm sure they're going to investigate to see if he's connected to more crimes. But he clearly was intending to kill the 16-year-old that he hit over the head with a shovel because he was actually digging a grave for her. He told her, "You were going in this grave," and she bolted. She managed to find a moment where she ran and saved her life. And I'm sure that with the next girl that he kidnapped, he was surely not going to let her go once she knew where he lived and knew his car, knew his face. That girl was going to be killed as well if he had the opportunity.
With somebody that has this kind of criminal history and violent history, would he be prone, now that he's in custody, to talk, to fess up that there might be other victims?
He might if it gives him a field trip someplace, if it buys him some kind of fun, if he enjoys telling stories, or if he is going to get some kind of deal, maybe from the prosecutor, he might do that. I mean, he knows he's cooked. He knows he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life at this point. So he might play some games with them. And we see that happening with the last serial killer was caught in Indiana. He starts saying, okay, I've got all these bodies all over the place. Well, if you keep telling them that, you can keep getting field trips and you can keep getting, journalists to come and visit you and you have all kinds of fun. So yes, I would think he might well do that. If it's true, we don't know until he gives us some exact information we could prove it.
So when we look at, what his defense might be, I have to assume he's going to claim some sort of mental dysfunction. What do you say?
He could try that, but usually serial killers or attempted serial killers don't get the insanity plea because they plan very carefully. They know what they're doing, and this is obvious. We see this in this particular case. We see him planning these crimes and carrying them out very methodically. Now, he's sloppy, which is why he got caught, thank God, but, there's no question. He's not insane. He's psychopathic.
Very good point. All righty. Hey, Pat Brown, we so appreciate your insight today. Thank you.
Thanks.
Martin?
Get your winner.